early today. I've got to take Gene Bean to the vet. He is fine. He's just got to go get all the updates looked at, poked, squished. He's actually excited. He likes to go to the vet. I know we're wanting to get into the really spicy looks, but y'all went absolutely spicy wild over that look that I did where I'm doing the lip combo. And also when I came on here Friday and I talked about the house, that's the same look, and my DMs were just, they were out of control. Most of that was MAC, so this is going to be fun. I'm very excited. And I'm actually going to be doing a wear test for this. I wore this the other day. This is new. This one's new for Makeup Revolution. I know it's backwards, so I'll type it out, but it's the Line Fix Under Eye Primer. I'm going to put it under this eye and not under this eye and apply concealer and just kind of see how that goes. That'll be a separate video, but just, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, and when it only goes under one eye, just know that I'm doing a wear test. So I actually used MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I feel like it just kind of gives the eyeshadows a different look. So we'll just take that and apply it all over our lid, from our lid to our brow bone. Kind of take your time. One thing with the MAC paint pots, I'm going to grab a little bit more, is they do dry down. So this will dry very fast. And the way I like to work with eyeshadows, I want them to have a little bit of grab. So I'm going to hurry up and start working in the eyeshadow before it dries. So we're already going to start with MAC Soft Brown. I'm telling y'all, I can't put it down. It's just such an easy color to work with, and I feel like it just brings so much life to any kind of lid color. I'm going to be pressing this on with the Rose and Ben Beauty E28. Just kind of keep pressing back and forth. I also want you to notice that I actually don't have the base on this eye yet. I want to make sure that I get this color laid down over here, but I feel that if you apply your shadow on top of Painterly or any of the MAC paint pots before it dries, it really does give a very smoothing effect to the eye. Also, did you catch who was using the brushes today? Did you take a gander? My week is already made. Now I'm going to grab the shade Malt. I'm going to grab just a little bit of that there on the side of the brush. It's really important to see how much I'm picking up. Let me do this side because I'm filming that side for TikTok. I'm just going to press this back and forth. This is what I transitioned with. This eye is pretty simple too, but I feel it's the eyeliner and the white liner that's kind of going to add the little bit of extra spice. I picked up a little bit more just to kind of keep transitioning that. Notice that I'm using the side of the brush to press and blend. I just feel like it makes everything so much smoother. Another question I'm getting a lot is if I'm actually using the same brush throughout the whole look, or if I'm switching. I'm using the same brush. What the most I'll do is take Sheila, we love Sheila, and I'll just wipe her off. It's just a towel. It's just a makeup towel. It's not microfiber. It's not wet. I just wipe it in between. The brushes are really designed to pick up the correct amount, and also the technique that I use, I don't go in here and pick up a ton of that product, so that's how I'm able to go from each color. Then I use the shade Give a Glam. I believe this is their, yeah, this is their Powder Kiss Soft Matte Eyeshadows. It's very, very pigmented, so this is very important how I'm going to go in here. So I'm not taking the whole side of the brush. What I'm going to do is just kind of use the tip and the side of the brush to press in there. Even if this doesn't, no, look how pigmented that is, just that little bit. And then I pressed it through here. Just gonna take your time. And I'm only gonna bring it over to there and just keep blending. Notice that I haven't dipped back in. Okay, Hooded Eye family, listen up. Again, I'm taking that same shade, I'm gonna do it on this eye so I can show you. And what I did is I kind of just pressed it here from the lash line. I kind of start there. Okay, now once we have it laid down, relax your eye and shade. So it's on the tip of the brush, the side and the tip, so it's able to reach through here. But notice how it's not coming out of this hooded part yet. Well, we want it to. But the best way to do that, that way we don't overshade, is to do it with our eye open, okay? So you start to see it come out. And then, I know not everybody can shut one eye at a time, creepy baby doll. So what you'll do is you'll just kind of tilt your head back and fill in those gaps. Just kind of keep working at it. Again, I'm very used to doing this, but if you can, basically shade, tilt, fill in. Okay, so now we're gonna grab a little bit more of the paint pot, and I didn't carve out the crease, I didn't do anything wild. I'm just adding a little bit more base here, just so this next shade can have something to grab onto. Again, same E28, we're just gonna wipe that off, take off the matte colors. That's good enough. This is the MAC shade Honey Lust. So nostalgic. Woo, girl! I thought I was the spice when I put this on. And this is the shade that I had on my lid. So notice that I'm kind of pressing it and pulling it. This brush is acting like a fingertip. It's just kind of pressing and pulling. That's so pretty. I feel pretty! I love this shade. This reminds me of when I first started makeup. You notice I didn't do a cut crease. I didn't worry about it being perfect. I just kind of placed it mostly on the lid, and then from there, you can just kind of feather it up above your natural fold. You can see that it's peeking out just a little bit there, but it's not just a complete perfect line. I've kind of fallen back in love with MAC Black Track. Over the years, I got distracted by quite a few gel liners. I mean, I love trying new things, but I've been using this one again, and it's pretty magical. But I have to say, I know they're mine, but I think one of the reasons is this brush, the E26. Let me show you. So we're just gonna dip right in. And what I like to do is I'm kind of just picking some up. And the reason why is because I wish I would have known at 16 and 17 that it's better to kind of dip some out. That way this stays nice and fresh, because back in the day, I had to make this last and last and last, and it would get dry and then I'd get sad. Nightmare! So I'm just gonna put the excess here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm really making sure that this is nice and pointed. I'm kind of shaping this really tight with the liner. Anytime we kind of scoop something out with a brush, we're gonna have to make sure that the bristles are nice and evenly coated with the product on each side, so that should do it. And then from there, I just kind of go to town. But I promise you, if you don't have this brush with this liner, you're missing out on a linery good time. I mean, look at that, we're almost done. And since the brush is angled, I promise you it does most of the work for you. And again, this isn't just limited to eyeliner. You can use it for eyeshadows. Hung actually used it today for spot concealing. It's pretty magical. I disappeared. I had to help Douglas find his little toy. It's a duck that actually makes noise, and it's his favorite. And it had made its way underneath my bed. I'm waiting for my lashes to dry. Let's talk about the star of the show here. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing these everywhere. I kind of picked one up the other day and I was like, and then I was like, whoa, these are amazing. These are from Shiseido. This is their micro liner ink. Look how tiny that is. That is such precision. So what I did is I actually, let me make sure you can see. So I'm gonna take this and apply it out of my lash line right through here. So easy because it's so tiny. Look how pigmented that is. These are incredible. And then I'll just take it along my waterline. Again, look at the pigment. Plus it's so tiny, it feels like nothing on your waterline. If you have sensitive eyes and you want to do some graphic looks, I highly recommend this because it's so tiny you barely even feel it. These have become my new faves, the Ardell 421s. The band is so small, but they're so floofy. But they're also extremely light, and I feel like you can still see all of the shadow through them. So pretty. I'm gonna disappear for just a second. I'm gonna go put this underneath this eye right here. It'll all be labeled in the video. And we'll start that wear test, which I will post tomorrow. Very excited. Okay, we have started the wear test, and I actually did my foundation and concealer off camera, but this has been my favorite recently. Y'all know that. So it's kind of gonna be a 3-for-1 special. I'm about to show it to you. So I used this foundation. Okay, so you're gonna see 7-hour wear on this, and then I use this concealer, 7-hour wear on this, and then of course I have this underneath one eye. This is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. Story fam gets to see it first, so I do have it on underneath here, and I just feel that it is so much smoother. I really and truly see a difference on this one. And then over here I don't have it, and while it doesn't look bad, I do feel like this is making a difference. But let's see how the wear test goes. I want to do a little bit of cream bronzing first. I'm going to grab this contour balm here from Danessa Myricks. I know I talk about this a lot, but it confused me for a very long time. Contour is different than bronzer, and even though this is a contour balm, you can see that that is so nice and warm. Let me give you a quick visual. Let me find you a bronzer to compare this. Okay, so I just grabbed one really quickly. You can see that these are so similar in color. This one's a little bit darker, but you see the warmth. Contour is, here you go. This is really and truly the color of contour, and when I hold it up next to this, you're gonna be like, ooh! So anytime, yeah, look at that. It's so much cooler. Anytime you hear contour, it can be very confusing because this is called a contour, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just here to kind of remind you that contour is very cool, and what we're doing is bronzing. And that does come back to the placement. It's a little different for bronzer placement than it is contour placement. Contour, I would be following through here, kind of really sculpting that, bringing that really far in. But for bronzing, think about where the sun naturally hits us. It hits us on the higher parts of our face. Ooh, that's pretty though. Also, I didn't set anything aside from the center of my face, so that's why we're gonna go ahead and use cream bronzer, but look how pretty that is. And then you kind of just fade that out through here, and it becomes very sun-kissed. This brush is specifically designed for that sun-kissed look, and I also want to just keep reminding y'all to make sure that you're pressing and not swiping. So I was wearing MAC Peaches blush in that look, and I applied it kind of high on the face, on the cheekbone I should say. Oh, a little famous brush here. Okay, so now we're gonna grab an E27, and I have that dark brown shade that we place called Give a Glam. And notice that I'm pressing, don't wanna fluff it into our eye. And also, I'm gonna connect it to the wing just slightly underneath here. Gives a really elongated look to the eye. Just keep pressing. I did add a little bit more of the white liner only because when I was doing concealer and everything I got feral. A quick tip is to actually do this after your concealer, but I get ahead of myself most days. I'm going to do a different lip than what I had on. I'm going to start with MAC Oral Lip Liner. Just kind of throw this on. Depending on what kind of lipstick formula I'm going to use, I'll do the lip liner first, but you'll always notice that I don't go in and kind of just start to get really precise because I'm just kind of laying down a color first. Okay, there's the color. So this is one of my new favorite lipstick colors. The shade is Ratha from Mario, and we'll just throw that on, and then I grab the lip liner again, and then I'll start to blend everything together and really define the lip line. This color is great though. There you have it. This is the look. There it is. I'll save this to my highlights. I filmed a little mini tutorial and I'll be posting all of the makeup details tonight. I'm gonna go round up all my little beasts and we're going to the vet. It's gonna be a good time. Everyone actually loves the vet, so I have a fun trip to the vet. Very blessed. I've seen some TikTok videos. I love you all so much. I'm so excited for this week. I'm gonna do some really spicy looks. You know, you add this and it really does take it to a really spicy level. But we're gonna do a lot of flips. I kind of want to do something with silver this week. We're gonna get wild. I love y'all. I love you so much. And we'll see you in the comments tonight.